Hello everybody! This is my second time recording this because the first time I recorded it, it took maybe 20 minutes and I was doing great. I was doing amazing, and then as soon as I hit stop, that program that I was recording it with crashed. And the footage is gone, so I am now distastefully recording this audio, which means more editing, but whatever. This has to be done! Alright, so if you're a Marvel fan, you're going to be real happy today. Christmas came early in the form of 4 trailers and announcements. So I was on YouTube today, scrolling through YouTube on my TV. I see that WandaVision has a new trailer, second trailer. So I watch it and I'm like, you know what, this is pretty cool. We got some interesting stuff here. It looks like Wanda is somehow able to create a new Mind Stone, which makes sense, kind of, because that's where her power comes from. But yeah, good stuff here, and we see that Wanda and Vision are fighting to protect their home. That's not going to end well. But the series looks great. There's really nothing like this series that exists currently. So, good stuff here. Then, after that finished, YouTube autoplayed the Falcon and the Winter Soldier new trailer. Good stuff. It looks like there's some drama behind the history of Captain America. And there's definitely drama because even though Captain America himself picked Sam, the government chose somebody else, and we see that guy with the shield. Rough stuff. The costumes look amazing. The banter between Bucky and Sam is great at the end. We see Sam dive out of a plane, kind of in a Captain America fashion, and normally that would be when they cut to black, but they really showed us a ton of what was happening after that, which was real good. These trailers did a real good job at impressing me today, because you know, when they announced the shows a while back, they only showed us a little bit, but now that we're seeing more, I am on board. The trailer that has me the most intrigued and excited, though, is Loki. Man, we didn't get a whole lot of this when they first announced it, but this trailer, man, does this show look interesting. We see Loki arriving on some planet. Maybe it's Earth in the past? I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if the Space Stone was capable of time travel. Anyway, he arrives there, people looking all confused, and then we see Loki in a prison outfit with the TVA on there, talking to none other than Lightning McQueen himself. That's right. Owen Wilson is in this show. Owen Wilson's in the MCU now. They showed off some really interesting stuff. Loki just wearing casual clothes has never really looked right to me. It just looks odd, you know, even in Thor Ragnarok. But when they did it in this trailer, man, they even gave Hiddleston a haircut, and yeah, it just looks interesting. But the thing that had me the most interested at the end of this little trailer is the fact when he jumps out of a plane. Another trailer where another guy's jumping out of a plane. He says, "Brother Heimdall, I hope you're ready." And then he jumps out of a plane, and the Bifrost catches him, and it looks like he has something. Is Chris Hemsworth and Idris Elba going to be in this show? This is going to be real interesting to see alternate versions of characters we know. So yeah, this show looks real interesting. Like any show or anything that plays around with time travel is something that I'm really interested in. So we got that, and then we got our first look at the What If trailer. That's another thing I'm interested in because it's also a time travel kind of thing. We got the Watcher, and he's talking about different realities and whatnot, and we get to see these different realities where T'Challa is Star-Lord and Yondu picks T'Challa up. This is just going to be a real interesting show, and I'm curious to see whether or not they do the Spider-Man films, because there's a bunch of like weird legal stuff with Spider-Man. Hopefully they do that. Then we get this little sizzle reel for Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's not really something I'm interested in, but it's happening, and Miss Marvel has her fans, and we get an actress. So Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. So, you know what? More power to you. We got some news on ShangChi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. And it will arrive July 9th next year. Not too, well, we don't have to wait a whole year for that. So that's good. Hopefully things are normal by then. I suspect they won't be. But that's my opinion. So we get some release date on that. And yeah, they wrapped filming on it. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how deep into the mythology they go with the Ten Rings, since the Ten Rings were a small part of the Iron Man movies, and then there's that one shot, All Hail the King, where they essentially retconned the Mandarin reveal, which many of us were like, thank God they did that, but good stuff here. Captain Marvel 2! We get a release date and a new director. The release date is November 11th, 2022. And, you know, we also get the new director, Nia DaCosta. I hope this new director can bring more life to the character and the plot as well. Captain Marvel, the first movie was okay. Like, you can watch it and not hate yourself. It's not a bad movie. It's just okay. Like, when I go to watch a Marvel movie, this is normally just one I put on to, like, you know, pass the time. But it's not one, like, when I tell fans or people who aren't into the MCU, like, hey, oh, you gotta watch Captain Marvel. But that's me personally. I know everybody has different opinions on Captain Marvel. Many people really despise Captain Marvel, and they really just despise the actress. The actress herself can act, definitely. It's just the writing, where in Captain Marvel she was told to control her emotion. So she's like this space soldier who's, you know, a soldier. She doesn't show any emotion, and you can tell that that's not really, like, if you think about Captain Marvel for more than a minute, you can tell it's not Brie's fault. It's the writing of the movie. So that's good. If you were watching the news the past week, you would find out that Haley Steinfeld is walking around in the Kate Bishop costume with Jeremy Renner. She looks like she's having a good time. That's, you know, the kind of stuff we want to see in an actor, a person who's, you know, enjoying themselves. You know, I only know her from 2 movies, Ender's Game and Bumblebee, but, you know, I think she could probably pull it off. I mean, Marvel's not going to hire somebody who can't do it, right? So Hawkeye is helmed by Rhys Thomas and the directing duo Bert and Bertie. It is set to premiere on Disney Plus in late 2021. So a bunch of Marvel stuff coming out in 2021, because they've had all of this stuff in the pipeline since they couldn't release any of it this year. Anyway, She-Hulk. She-Hulk was an interesting announcement a while back when they talked about it, but we get an actor, Tatiana Maslany. She's going to be Jennifer Walters in this comedy series. Additionally, this show will welcome a bevy of different Marvel characters to the series, including the Hulk, once again portrayed by Mark Ruffalo. Good to see him coming back, along probably She-Hulk. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Moon Knight gets a director, Mohamed Diab. Cool. We don't have a release date or anything for that. We just get a director. So cool stuff there. Be interesting to see if they do the whole vigilante thing, or if Mark Spector, everybody knows he's Moon Knight, because we all know that everybody in the MCU, with the exception of Spider-Man before Far From Home, doesn't have a secret identity. Really hope they go the vigilante route. Secret Invasion is a new announcement, and guess what? Secret Invasion reunites Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn in a new Disney Plus series. Yes, 2 great actors returning. Samuel L. Jackson, who doesn't love the guy, and Ben Mendelsohn, arguably the best part about Captain Marvel, is coming back as Talos. They have to play Secret Invasion very carefully, though, because if they retcon certain characters and in previous Marvel movies, then this is going to be an issue. I say they don't retcon anything pre-Endgame. Only if you're going to replace people with Skrulls, do it after Endgame. Okay? So that way you don't ruin, the first 22 movies that came before this. Clearly, they've been setting this up. We saw at the end of Far From Home, and, they set it up in Captain Marvel a little bit. It was interesting to see the twist on the Skrulls, because, they appear to be good guys. I suspect in this show there's a rogue faction of the Skrulls that are doing this, but, we'll see what happens, I really hope Talos stays a good guy. He was my favorite part about Captain Marvel. No arguments here unless they retcon certain things, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless. Ironheart is coming to Disney+. We get an actor. Dominique Thorne is going to be Riri Williams, who creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man himself. Those are big words, okay? Tony Stark is the smartest person in the MCU. And his legacy is one of the most important things in the MCU. And to say that this person they're basically saying this person is smarter than Tony Stark. Maybe that won't be the case. Kevin Feige said Captain Marvel is the strongest Avenger, and then after Endgame came out, he said Scarlet Witch is, but I don't know. I'm sure these are just words that are trying to sell you on something. Ironheart has her fans, and as long as they don't disrespect Tony Stark's legacy, then I'm fine with that. But into the Ironverse, let's talk about this. This is interesting. Armor Wars, with Don Cheadle returning as War Machine to save Tony Stark's tech. This is interesting, and this poses a question that I had. And they're saying here, what if Tony Stark's tech falls into the wrong hands? Well, we know what happens when it falls into the wrong hands. Frickin' Far From Home and Mysterio. But that begs the question, how come Tony never gave Edith to Rhodey? Maybe, maybe he knew that Rhodey would try to give it to the government, but Rhodey is the only war machine out there. He never gave the Iron Man suit to the government. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, because in Iron Man 2, they kind of brought this up when the government was trying to get Tony to give the Iron Man suit to the United States government. Tony was like, no. And then Rhodey was like, hold on, other countries are trying to develop their own suits. Then Tony steps in, shows him the footage, and then he's like, countries are 10 to 15 years away. Guess what? It's been 10 years since Iron Man 2, which means countries have this technology now. So it'll be interesting to see if they do pay off that thread that was set up in Iron Man 2. Here's something interesting. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. James Gunn will be shooting this before he shoots Guardians 3, but they're going to be back-to-back. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will be in 2023, and the holiday special will be out probably Christmas of 2022. But you know what? It'll be interesting to see. Before Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot hit the big screen with the next Guardians of the Galaxy film in 2023, watch the Guardians engage in some spirited shenanigans in an all-new original special created for Disney Plus during the 2022 holiday season. I don't know what holiday specials normally do, if they actually talk about Christmas or whatnot. Hopefully they tell the true meaning of Christmas correctly. I'm sure that Chris Pratt, being the Christian that he is, will probably have some involvement in that, but that's if they go the Christmas route, like the actual Christmas route. But we'll see what happens. Looking forward to that. James Gunn is great. I'm so glad they brought him back. So, I Am Groot is a series of shorts coming at Disney Plus at some point. It's going to feature unusual characters joining Groot. And you know what? I'm okay with this. I Am Groot is not a series I would watch regularly, but if it's a series of shorts, fine. I mean, everybody loves Groot, but let's see what happens, Thor, Love, and Thunder cast Christian Bale as Gore, the God Butcher. I don't know much about him other than his fight with Null in the comic books. I don't think I'm going to see Thor, Love, and Thunder for political reasons, but, Christian Bale is going to absolutely kill it in this role. Christian Bale is great in everything he does. He really just disappears into a role I mean, Batman, Vice, Ford versus Ferrari, stuff like that. The dude's a great actor. Here's a big one. Marvel Studios has confirmed Fantastic Four is in the works. Now, Marvel, if you're watching this, let the internet do the casting for you, at least for these two. Reed Richards and Sue Storm are married in real life, and two actors that are married in real life that fit the physical profile, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. They should be these characters. For real. This is perfect casting right there, unless they get a divorce. But yeah, this is some big stuff that Marvel has announced.
Okay, one thing I forgot to mention while recording this was that John Watts, the director for the Spider-Man movies, is actually directing the Fantastic Four movie. And excellent choice, because he did a great job with the Spider-Man movies, and can't wait to see what he does here. And it also proves that the rumors when Spider-Man was briefly out of the MCU last year, that Marvel actually won that war with John Watts and Sony. So that's good to hear. Hopefully Sony doesn't utilize him in any solo projects, because Sony's just gonna tear apart the creative mind that guy has. So good to see that he's doing something for Marvel.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, that is the actual title of this movie. It will feature previous characters of the Ant-Man films, along with Kang the Conqueror. That is going to be some interesting stuff, and we clearly see that Marvel is really toying with the multiverse and time travel. We all know time is broken after the events of Endgame because there are no Infinity Stones to keep time intact, and if the rumors about Spider-Man 3 are true, that is definitely the route they are taking. Crazy title. Peyton Reed is back to direct, and will it be the first trilogy where a director does all three if James Gunn doesn't beat the guy? But no arguments there. Black Panther 2. Let's talk about it. Chadwick Boseman, as all of us know, unfortunately passed away. Marvel Studios' Black Panther 2 will continue to honor the legacy of Chadwick Boseman and his portrayal of King T'Challa, and will not recast the character. Marvel will continue the incomparable world of Wakanda and all the rich and varied characters of the first film, and Black Panther 2 is written and directed by Ryan Coogler, who was behind the first Black Panther. So this means that a new character will most likely become Black Panther. Many of us speculate Shuri. I don't think any of us would argue if it was Okoye or Black Panther's girlfriend. I forget her name. But so Marvel really blew their load here. A lot of stuff to digest, and that is not proper wording there. But I hope you guys enjoyed all this news, and I know I'm interested. So hopefully you guys like it, and subscribe if you like this video. Maybe I'll do another one. We'll see.